guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here for a bit of a play today. I don't really have much idea what I've come along to do, other than I had this sheet music, and some time back I just stitched it together in amongst some, you know, in between some card, or the card was in between the sheet music, sorry. So we have sheet music obviously on the front and sheet music on the back. I did it because I absolutely love the colour of this sheet music. You can probably see, but it's, you know, I don't know whether it started out this colour or whether it's become very discoloured, but I just love this. It's like a craft card colour, but in sheet music form. So I absolutely just, you know, love it. So yeah, I did this several, you know, months, weeks, whatever ago. And then it's just been sat there, you know, ever since, and, you know, didn't really know kind of what more to do with it. So I'm trying to actually do a few, or get rid of a few things that are, you know, halfway finished and laying about on my craft area. So I just thought, right, it's time that I just pick this up and do something with it rather than have it just, you know, laying around forevermore. So I have just pulled in some craft colour envelopes. And I just thought, let's just get making some sort of like folio-y type thing. I mean, like I say, I do not have a plan at all for this. Who knows what this is going to come out like? I really have not got a clue. But let's just do something, you know, make something fun, make something hopefully different, and hopefully something, you know, really nice and interactive, lots of foldy bits and, you know, all sorts of things. So this is my foundation piece, literally that's it. So all I've got here is, as I say, these couple of envelopes, and what I thought I would do is do like the Crafty Cat type envelope here. So I'm going to just then glue this flap into the other one. Like that. Oh, by the way, if you heard the doorbell, my husband, he's working from home, so he's obviously able to answer the door. I haven't literally just ignored the door. Okay. So it's probably just something my son has ordered on Amazon, to be honest. But although I have ordered a couple of things also on Amazon. Can't remember now what. Oh, I ordered a new ink pad and something else, and I can't think what the other thing was. Anyway, so hopefully it could be my stuff, but I have a feeling my stuff was not, you know, not due to arrive yet. So who knows? Who knows? But it's probably something for him, so I won't get too excited. Right. So that's my Crafty Cat envelope, and I'm not going to stick this flap because I'm thinking I want to have it here, so that I've got like a couple of pages there coming off is the plan. So let's have a look and see what we're going to do with these. Do we want to have decisions? Do we want to have one as an envelope and one as a pocket? Yeah, that sounds good. So I've got this sheet here, which again, this is that photo paper that kind of goes a little bit turmeric-y, but I mean, oddly, on, you know, the pattern side, that's, you know, it's not apparent at all. That, you know, doesn't sort of show. So just going to use that. If I just fold it down slightly so as I know roughly where I'm cutting, like that. I'm just going to trim that down there. I just get bored doing the same old thing all the time. So, yeah, rightly or wrongly. So hence no plan whatsoever as to what it is that I'm actually doing here. But just thought, let's just make something. Let's just, you know, see what evolves. So who knows what it's going to be. Who knows whether it's going to be nice or not. But it's just fun sometimes to, you know, mix stuff up, isn't it? And do completely different things. Okay, so I just wanted to obviously stick those little sections down, and then I'm just going to run glue around the edge of here, like that. Okay, and there. And then the rest of my glue is obviously going to go onto my envelope piece here. Just anywhere, you know, sometimes like envelopes are coming up a little bit at the flap, so just make sure that they're down like that. Okay, so nicely covered, and then we're just going to pop that on there. Yeah, I just wanted to, you know, use up some things that I've, you know, done nothing with, that have just been like sat lingering around for a long time. And I thought, well, it's time probably to do something with that. And hopefully just make something pretty and different at the same time. So we'll see what evolves from this. Okay. Okay, really press that down, and then of course I'm just then going to fold it over and then just going to cut it down here, which is obviously going to open that envelope flap on the edge there. Okay, right, let's move that out of the way. Just check that I've cut enough off and I've got an opening flap now, because obviously I was quite close to that edge, so it didn't quite, you know, I wasn't quite in enough. Okay, so now I've got a proper opening flap there, so that's a bit better. And we're just going to have that attached here. Oh, come on. Just didn't really look like it's sticking down very well there. Now, my next thing is, do I have this flap stuck over here on the outside, or do I have it stuck on the inside? What do you think? Let's have a look. I mean, the plus of having it on the inside is, if I want to have another piece at all, I probably won't, but if I did, I can easily put that there and it's not going to be in the way of this, you know, how it's folding. And I will probably have some sort of pocket or something on here anyway. But having it on the outside makes it, you know, really nice opening here. And I probably am not really going to be going for anything here anyway. See, already I'm just at the very first thing, and already I'm like, oh, what should I do? What should I do? Let me just have a look in my envelopes and just see whether I'm likely to have anything else. You know, because as I say, I do not have any sort of plan with this, and I just want to do something a bit fun with lots of flaps. Right, that's obviously too big for the piece. Although, I know this sounds really weird, but Eva from Bohemian Crafting, I'm sure that most of you watch her. She makes amazing creations. And I do notice that often her kind of lap books and, you know, her creations, they're not all the same size. They have like very varied, you know, size pieces. So, just going to move my tripod a bit. You know, she would maybe have something like that. I'm not sure that I'm ready to carry that off. I mean, I do absolutely love her stuff. She is like amazing, isn't she? I don't know. I don't know whether that's like taking it too far. I mean, hers are very much, they're not like a sort of squarish journal. Do you know what I mean? They're like all different levels and pieces all everywhere. Perhaps I should try and just, you know, mimic that a little bit and do something really like, wow, you know, really sort of outside of my comfort zone. What do you think? So if that was the cover, and then I would have this opening, there would be this opening, that would close, and then going over we would have another flap here. What do you think, guys? Shall we do that? Yeah, I mean, it's quite a brave move, I think. You know, it's very out there for me. Okay, well, if we do that, the next question will be, of course, where do I attach this flap? Right. Okay, one thing at a time. Let's attach this one first. So let's just glue this down. Oh, I mean, I love Eva from Bohemian Crafting. Wow, she just makes the most incredible things, doesn't she? I don't know how she, well, I just don't know how she gets her inspiration. I don't know how she creates the folds and what have you, but she just does like incredible stuff, like amazing. So yeah, let's try and not saying like do something similar to her, of course not, but you know, let's use her as a little bit of source of inspiration where hers are very jaggedy in size and things like that. So right, well, that's that piece attached. Now my next dilemma, I mean, this envelope, you can see it came completely apart in the coffee dyeing process. I mean, I don't mind that, to be honest. I mean, actually, I don't mind it, and kind of almost tempted to have that as a page. But of course, then I'm back to that. It's too big. Right. So if I were to glue this back together, i.e., you know, recreating the envelope. Now, do we trust that flap? Or would it need to be reinforced with something? I'm always very wary of the, you know, the flaps being robust enough to not be breaking. I always feel like just paper is very, very flimsy. But I mean, I guess that's the nature of what we're making, isn't it? You know, of course it's flimsy. It's made from paper. What if we had it like that? We had like that. Should we do that? You see, I feel like then these are like little vulnerable pieces. Because they're not flush with the top, they're sort of vulnerable to getting slightly damaged. Just have a bit of a think for a minute. I mean, we could like reinforce them with a bit of book page or something. Let's just have a look. I'll just tear this down. I mean, we could reinforce it like that. And then if that were on here, I mean, it wouldn't really even be visible, would it? Should we do that? Let's do that. So let me just move this out the way. Okay. Honestly, sometimes you just think, you know, better off not trying something new, really, but it's always fun to try new stuff, isn't it? So let's be adventurous. And then I'm going to glue my flap of my envelope down Now, partly I'm doing this because that flap is very high up. Do you see what I mean? So by the time this is like a little flap, that's barely going to be accessible anyway. So that's partly why I'm gluing that down. Okay. Okie dokie. So that's like that now. And then I'm just going to obviously reinforce the folded bit with some book page. So I really like this kind of edge of the book page. Not that I'm going to have that really visible anyway, but oh well, never mind. Never mind. Let's just glue it down anyway. So again, just covering that with glue. Hopefully quite a bit. Like that. Oh, it's getting really hot up here. I've been doing videos back to back for a couple of hours now, so the lights have been on for some time, and it's now pretty hot up here. Okay. That's that. And then just this little piece up here then, and then we're done. So, and again, just need to move that over slightly. So, okey-dokey. Pop that down there, like that. Okay. Right, so now I'm just going to trim around all of this. So I'm just going to check it's glued down, like, you know, from the back. So just again, press that down really well. Okay. And then we're just going to cut around that flap. Like that. Okay. Okay, right. So that's that one. And then find my, you know, where the original flap was. And then just going to sort of, you know, burnish that down so it still folds nicely, even though it's now got the glued book page, like that. Okay, right, so that's that piece. Now I'll pull in my folio-y type thing again. Now we were going to have this here, weren't we? So we're having that here now. Do we want to cut the top open and have that as a top loading? Let me just have another think. Hold on. Okay. Let me just have a look and see what other envelopes I have. Hold on a moment. Oh, it's all about the envelopes today, isn't it? All about the envelopes. Right, what else have I got here in the way of envelopes? Trying to see what other envelopes I've got that have actually been coffee dyed. So, what, you know, what shaped envelopes I've got. So I've got some of these, you know, more conventional shaped ones. Again, that would have, you know, that flap like that. So if that's there, that's there. Oops. Oh, come on. So I'm thinking if that was there, that was there. Let's tuck in there like that. I need to make sure this is still going to even fold and close. I might have to actually alter it and have it closing more like that, to be honest. Oh, look how this is just evolving. It's just expanding beyond, you know, in front of my eyes. So hold on. Okay, let's do that. So I'm going to do exactly the same as what we did with that one. Now this one, obviously it's been coffee dyed, but the sides have stayed glued, so that's all fine. So all I'm going to do is just glue like this flap down again, like that. So just glue that down like that. And then I'm just going to glue this. No, I'm not going to glue that shut. No, what am I doing? Not going to glue that shut. No, I'm going to glue this down. And then I'm going to, again, bring in some book page. And then, again, reinforce that flap so that it's a bit more robust. And I can feel, you know, a bit more faith in its ability to stay, you know, to not tear. I mean, of course, it's still going to only be two sheets of paper effectively. So, I mean, it's not going to be, you know, foolproof by any stretch of the imagination, but, you know, it is what it is, basically. And I don't think I'm alone in just loving the feel of, you know, the squidgy feel of kind of paper. So, you know, it's just sort of how it is, isn't it? Right, let's bring this over actually, because then I won't have to cut it on both sides. So there we go. Right. Okay. Okay. So that's that one, and then just this little bit here. Okay. So again, just go around there. Yeah, I mean, definitely no plan here. Just, you know, hopefully got an evolving piece that's just going to, you know, turn out to be something pretty and interesting. And, you know, probably never be able to emulate it again. But, you know, that's the fun, isn't it, of having these, like, different one-off pieces, I suppose. So, there we go. Okay. That again around the flap, and again at the other end. Okay, right, so again I'm just going to make sure this is really well stuck down, and then we're just going to fold that flap over, and then again sort of burnish that down like that. Okay, right, okie dokie. Now, so pulling our folio piece back in. Now, do we want it like that? Or do we want it, we could have it like this, where we have it like that piece and then that piece. No, I don't want it like that. I think I'd like it like this. So I'm going to just attach this one to the edge of that flap. So just, oops, glue that down there. Okay. Like that. Okay, press that down. And then we were saying about having the top as a pocket on this one, weren't we? So I'm just going to cut across the top here to open that out. Okay. So then you've got, you know, a nice top loading pocket there. Okay, and we're going to stick that on the edge there that. Now, am I still all right with the fold? I'm not sure that I am actually. That might be do you see there? It's kind of too long really. So in which case I'm going to have that like folding around it, because otherwise that's just too big, which then makes me feel that should be at the back really, because you know, in my mind, like the rule is, you know, your longest or your bottom piece, you know, if things are stacked, they should be kind of more pyramid. So thinking, should we have it like that? And then like that. Because I mean, I did want this really as my base and my cover and everything. And now it's like getting lost inside the piece. Which was why really I wanted it like that, but then it's not going to fit. Decisions. Or we have this as the cover. But you see, to me, that's a bit weird, because then the cover is like, you know, bigger than what's hidden beneath it. You know, that to me just feels a little bit strange. So yeah, I'm not that happy with that. Let me just turn this round just to, I could have it that way round. Let me just see what this does to this. So we'd have it, oh, I mean, those flowers are now a bit upside down, but that doesn't really matter. They're not kind of really noticeable. I mean, that feels a little bit sort of strange because it's like opening out the wrong way. But, you know, there's no rules with junk journals. You know, anything goes, doesn't it? I guess, so it was either that way or that way. Right, I'm going to have to do that, I think, the original way. So that was, no, I've lost it already. Now you see how Eva from Bohemian Crafting does hers with so many amazing pockets and things is literally beyond me now. Right, so that was my original way, wasn't it? Like that. We've got these bits here, this one here, this one, pocket up here, and then of course we might, you know, we might tuck some things in here. Yeah, do we like that? Or the alternative was having it kind of backwards. Let me just double check that. So sorry, this is like blowing my mind here. It's clearly too confusing for me. I just can't comprehend what's going on. So it would open like that. You'd have these bits here. Have I just done it exactly the same way around? Yep, I have. Okay. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? This is just like too complicated now for me. Right, what am I trying to even do? Okay, so we had said if it went the other way, which would have been like that. No, that's still wrong, isn't it? Oh my gosh, what is going on here? Oh my gosh, I have no clue now. Right, that was that way. No, I don't want it like that. So then the alternatives are like that, which would be like that, which would then open kind of like that, and then everything's folding in, or it would be, what was the other way that we said? No, I think that's kind of it, isn't it? Oh, seriously, what is going on? This is like too complicated for me now. I've lost kind of all form of how this works. Okay, right. Well, I'm going to just have to go for it like this because It's clearly just like beyond my realms of understanding now. Okay, do we want that glued on there or there? Right, let's have a look. So I could reinforce that with some lace down there, or if it was there, I could reinforce it sort of here. Oh my gosh, have you ever seen anything so complicated? Oh, I mean, it's probably just me who's finding this really complicated, but I'm going to turn the camera off and have some water and hopefully come back refreshed. Hold on. Right, I have had some water and hopefully come back with a little bit more clarity. So I have quickly had a look at this whilst I was drinking my water. And I think for me, if I glue this here, it feels a little bit like an add-on to the, you know, the piece itself, if you see what I mean. That to me just feels like it's suddenly glued on the back. Whereas this feels like it's all encompassing and, you know, it's supposed to be part of the piece. So I'm going to glue it onto there. Decision made. So we just then pop that down there like that. Okay, so let me just, might just use even a little bit of Fabri-Tac to glue this down as well. So okay, right, no going back now. I'm fully committed here, so just going to literally glue that down there. Okay, right. My gosh, that was just took some effort, didn't it? I'm sure it must have taken some effort to even watch it, let alone do it. So yeah. Okay, and then I rather like the fact that that can wrap around, but it doesn't have to, because obviously once we've done some more things in here, you know, this may be too bulky and, you know, it may not even sort of wrap around there neatly. But at least at the moment we've got options. Okay, so I'm back. It's actually the next day for me, but I mean, hopefully it will be, you know, seamless for you guys. So yeah, we're going to just literally continue with just one or two little bits on here on our, you know, folio piece. I mean, as I say, continue, you know, for you guys, it's like the same video. Right, so we have our kind of basic piece, if you like. And so now we're just going to, you know, see what else that we want to add to here. So obviously I have started using, you know, this paper. So we can incorporate that somewhere else. So I'm thinking perhaps we could have like a couple of pockets here, maybe going this way. So I'm just going to, I think, fold it down or fold it in so as I know roughly the line to cut that down. So again, let me just squash that in. Like that. Okay. And then I just want to do like pocket sort of about that height. Now I'm just wondering whether I actually want to double this over so it's, you know, thicker and slightly more robust. I might just even do that, to be honest. I mean, I could of course just you know, cut this and back it onto some other paper, but I might just double it over and then it's, you know, really nice and thick and I don't have to worry about the fragility of it at all. So what I might do with this one is actually stitch it round on the sewing machine and then stick that on there. So that's going to be that one. So I'm going to just have to remember what I thought that I would do, because I'm so forgetful, and probably what will happen is after this I'm just going to probably go straight on and try and film something else before I go down. So what I might have to do, I'm just rummaging around for a pen, is I might have to just jot on there, you know, stitch. My daughter has wrecked my Tim Holtz pens. Look, she's, well, literally wrecked them. I mean, they're fit for the bin now. Yeah, wasn't overly thrilled with her about that, but never mind. So that's going to be that piece. And then just wondering whether we could have another pocket, like maybe above it or something, but maybe just in just coffee dyed paper or something. So, you know, I don't want it too like full on, I suppose is the word that I was looking for. Just having a look around, seeing what else I've got, you know, that might be just laying around that's looking ideal. I mean, I have got some more of that paper. And I have got some of this one. I mean, we could, I guess, mix it up and have... Just that second had said, oh, because I don't want it too full on. You know, I don't want it too full on. And now look, I mean, could I have picked a more, ugh, you know, full on pattern? Not really. Oh well, let's just chop that one down. Like that. So we just want it obviously sort of the same size. And I might just do the same again, you know, in doubling it over. So it's a bit more, again, you know, robust there. So, and then what I'll do is probably stitch them together, and then I can stick it down as like a whole complete piece. Yeah, I quite like those. So I might paper clip those together, so as I know I'm stitching those together on the sewing machine like that. So that's going to be those. What else might we like? Well, probably going to want something on this side. I'm not sure what. So that's our front cover. Having these in here. So on this side, what type of thing might we like? Might we want a long, might want just a long pocket, or do we want another like envelope or something? And just see how that folds in. I'll have to move this out of the way, otherwise it's not going to fold in at all. So we'd then have pocket, 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 pocket. Well, we could do it like that, to be fair. And actually what we could do, if we chop this down, so it's not taking up so much room on that page. Like that. And then if we glue that on there, then what we could do is still have a pocket over the top of that envelope, if that makes sense. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So again, let's just pop this envelope on. Do you know, I haven't had glue problems for, well, it feels like ages. It's probably not ages, but it feels like a long time to me. So yeah, it was probably high time that I did have some glue problems, but here we go. Okay. Right. Let's just glue this down. Like that. Okay. Okay, and then I'm just going to make a lengthways pocket here. So I'll take the side that, which was the side I cut. I think it was that side actually. Now, again, do I want to actually fold that so that it's actually just sort of strengthens it, really? You know, just makes it slightly more robust, which might be good. So I'm going to have it like that. So again, what I'm going to do is just take this piece down to the sewing machine and stitch around that to then just pop on here. So again, in fact, I'll just hold that in there. So that's my pieces now for the sewing machine. Okay, so not too bad a start there, I think, for that book. So we'll probably call it quits there for today. I will sew all these pieces on. I don't know whether I will come back to do some more or whether, you know, I'll do it in sort of slow time. I'm not sure. I'll have to see how kind of time goes by. But yeah, I hope that you liked the start of this, whatever it is that we're actually making here, the evolving process, and I will see you all again soon. Thanks then. Bye.